So, Singles Inferno season 5 has been a very messy season, and I was so here for it because I've been watching all the past seasons, but this by far has surpassed all those. Okay, so we are going to jump right into the different relationships. So, I'm not just going to explain everything. I'm sure that you've seen the season so far if you're watching this. If not, it's about a group of people getting to know each other on an island. And whoever you're curious about or whatever challenge you're in, you get to choose whoever you want to take with you to paradise, where you get to know their age and their occupation. So this is where Minji and Songgil comes in. So Minji showed her interest in Songgil at the beginning, and Songgil's interested in her as well. However, he is a few years younger than her, which will show in the later episodes. But she didn't seem too phased at it. However, she was shocked at the beginning, and so was I. Like, my mouth was on the floor. Okay? So Samuel had his interest in Minasu. But Minasu had her eye on more than just one guy. Unlike the rest of the other girls, she had her first interest in Subin, if I'm not mistaken, and they seem to be getting on really well. However, she also showed interest in a few of the other guys as well. So, one of the other guys she was interested in is Sanglan. So, they got along really well. She came to him whenever she had problems and she vented to him. However, he did make the mistake of saying, okay, we are now friends, which she took as, okay, I'm going to pursue this because you see me as a friend, which is understandable. But she and Minji was also kind of close. But when they had a little bonfire moment, she decided instead of going for Subin or Sangan, she was going to go for Samyeo, which was very unexpected. But I think because he showed interest in her, so she decided, okay, I will also show interest in you in front of everyone else that likes me. Okay, this was very shocking for everyone, as you can see. However, Minji didn't back down because she was going to show her interest in Samuel loud and proud, and I was so here for it. So now we will be moving forward to Subin again. He was disappointed in the way that Minasu acted. However, there was somebody that always had her eye on him, and that person is Hasin. Okay, so she had an interest in him, and that was her love that wasn't it bloomed, but he gave her his hoodie one time, and she never took the hoodie off throughout the entirety of the season. Which was kind of annoying, but okay, I also understand if you have a crush on someone, but still, at least wear some other jackets as well. And maybe with a hoodie at night when you want to sleep and you feel like you want clothes. But anyway, Minasu didn't like this because now her interest is on Subin because Hasin seemed to be too interested in him. So this happened, and they went on a little date, Hasin and Subin, which also left Minasu and Songgil on a date because she was interested in him as well.
Oh, now, dog. Come on, man.
However, when they got on the date, Minasu was more interested in what Subin is doing since he's with another girl, which confused me because aren't you interested in Songgil? However, they went on a date, and then all of a sudden, it was a double date. And this really irked me and made me so upset because why? Why would you bring her on the date? Like, seriously, and then she acts so happy. Can't you just hide it in front of someone else and she showed interest in him, but now all of a sudden he's just there? Anyway, yeah, so she tried to get attention from Subin the entire time. However, Hasin was going to show herself to her and say, "This is my man," and I was so here for it because she claimed the guy that she was with. Okay, so she came back, and then Minji decided to have a little conversation with her about how she didn't voice the people that she was interested in. For example, Song Yil that Minji was interested in the whole time. And that kinda upset Mina so. But I was so here for Minji calling out the way that she did because she needed that wake up call. Okay, let's move on quickly to somebody else. So I'm going to go on to Go Hyun. So Go Hyun was also a popular girl. She had an interest in the first, which was Sungmin. They went on a really nice paradise trip, and that was the first guy that she went on the trip with, and it went well. However, she was also interested in Yunu. So they also had a little thing happening. However, there was somebody else that came in a bit later, which is Ikwan. So Ikwan and Korean had mutual friends, which kind of, I think, created the curiosity between the two. So Ikwan decided that he's going to take Jin and Korean on a date. The date went very well with Korean. However, I don't think him and Jin went on such a good date. After that, I think he got on more with Korean. However, he tried to pursue the interest in Ejin, but Ejin just wasn't being perceptive with him, or how can I say, was reciprocating his feelings. And then he decided that he's going to look deeper into his connection with Korean. And when I tell you guys the dates that they had me smiling for no reason at the screen alone. So that was quite awkward. However, I was so here for that relationship to happen. I was rooting for the both of them, and I understood why she was smiling all the way, especially in that pool scene. Okay. However, moving on, she got back, and Hyunwoo was really upset about what happened, and even though they had a little game that they played to see which person will win it, they also saw that okay, Ikhwan is actually stronger than Yunwoo, even though he has a lot of muscles and looks like the muscly type. Unfortunately, he did not win, and there was a point where he had to choose somebody to go on a date with, but he ended up going with no one because the only one he was interested in is Go Young. So unfortunately, he did go on a date with Go Young at one point, but because he kept saying how cute she was, it was kind of a turn off because he didn't know when to stop, and maybe it was because of his nerves, but yes, that was a bit unfortunate. However, Sungmin, Ikwan, and Korean had their back and forths as well. I think she decided at this point between Sungmin and Ikwan. But because Ikwan kept mentioning another girl, it didn't quite work out in the way that we all thought it would. And there's another couple, the third, which is Ju Young and Jaejin. So they got along well at the beginning. Also, they had their little date, and it went very well. Clearly, she was interested in him because he's funny, and they have similar sense of humor, and she gets his humor as well, which I think that attracted him to her as well. As he previously went on a date with Heejun, but it just didn't work out the way that he intended it to. There's also another person who's interested in her as well. So he showed this interested in Ju Yang, which is Hyun Jae. He fought his way up to the top to show her interest. However, she was not as interested in him as she was in Jaejun. But she gave him a shot at proving to her why she should choose him. But the chemistry just wasn't there as much as it was with Jaejun and herself. So Even though he fought his way and they had a cute date, it just didn't compare to her and Jajan's connection. So, at the end of everything, Hassan and Subin had a very eventful and a very tension-filled date, if I may add. The date also gave me a few butterflies, but I was so happy that they had the moment of the little interruption with Minasu. So I think that this needed to happen to push them more together. However, Minasu did try to sneak her way back in with Supin, and they got a bit flirty with each other.
Again, again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit.
But that didn't change the connection with Supin and Asin at the end of the day, which I'm very happy about. So I got to the end, and Sungil saw that Minasu just was not interested in him on the date at all, which left him with the only other option, which was Mingji. I don't think he was as interested in her as she was in him, which was quite unfortunate because I was kind of rooting for them. Because of Mingji being so genuine with him from the start and with everybody else. To be honest, the way that Minasu went about things, it was a bit iffy. However, she saw that the only other option that she had was Samgin at the end of the day.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Get out of here.
Stop it. Get some help.
So Samgin did win a challenge and he inevitably got to date Minasu or take her to paradise. I didn't really feel the connection between them. I think that she just chose him because there was nobody else. So at the end of the day, everybody chose their person. So Hassin chose Subin. Minasu, of course, chose Samhan because there was nobody else. Minjis chose Samgil. And Koyan chose Sammin. And I was pretty shocked that she chose him because I thought that she would choose Ikwan. Just based off of the fact that they had the most compatibility or chemistry with each other. However, because he mentioned another girl's name the entire time, I understand why she did not choose him. So, I'm still a bit iffy about how Minasu went about it. If you want me to react to the reunion as well, I can do so. It was pretty interesting, guys. I was smiling and also screaming at the screen at the same time. So if you want my opinion on that, please comment, like, and subscribe for more videos. And thank you so much for watching the video. Bye.